We go up to the booth now. Joe Buck, Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. And gentlemen, when we talked pregame, we thought that this might be one of those games, right? That one of those rivalry games that's intense back and forth. It certainly was. The Hail Mary from Rodgers right before the half allows the Jets to creep closer. Ultimately, they tie it, some missed field goals. And in the end, Joe, Buffalo wins this game. They leave here atop the AFC East. Does that feel like the appropriate outcome based on the way the game was played tonight to your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, they ended up with more points than the other team, so they win. It was getting bogged down in the red zone.
Right.
Mistakes by the Jets, the 2 missed field goals, including one that was kind of a chip shot from one of the game's best in Greg Zuerlein. So, yeah, I mean, they made plays. Taylor Rapp made plays. Taron Johnson made that play with a pick. And that's how you win football games in the NFL. So they walk out of here at 4-2. And the Jets now have lost 3 in a row, and they're going to talk about it's a long season, and it is. But after all these changes, it's kind of the same frustrating result for the New York Jets, although I thought the offense looked a lot better here tonight.
I guess, Troy, what I'm getting at there is, to what Joe's alluding to, great teams figure out ways to win games, and mediocre and poor teams figure out ways to lose them. I'm not saying the Jets are mediocre or poor, but they are 2-4, and Buffalo's able to get the victory. I think Joe's right. The Jets look better. But what's Buffalo build on off of this victory after the last 2 games went the wrong way for them on the road?
Well, for Buffalo, it's not easy to win on the road, as we know, and you're playing a division rival. You're playing for first place within the division. So regardless of whatever it looked like for Buffalo or whatever you try to take away from and say, hey, we could do this better, you want a big game, a primetime game on Monday night that gets you atop the division. So it's a huge win for them, and they'll continue to build on that. So it's a good situation for them. For the Jets, on the other hand, as I said at the end of the game, that I don't know where they go from here, quite honestly, Scott, because this week with all the changes, and then you have some momentum coming in. You start to do some things better than what you had done them. And we see that from time to time when an interim head coach takes over and how a team might respond to that. But to lose the game the way they did with the penalties and the missed field goals and not capitalizing in the red zone and all those things, I just think it's going to be really hard on them. Short week now. I could see this totally unraveling. Maybe that won't happen. I know the players won't agree with that, but I could see it happening because I think they put so much into this week to winning a game and getting back on track. And the owner says this is the best team he's had in 25 years, all those things. But they didn't get it done. And so they're right back where they were. And now what's the answer for them? They don't have it.
Yeah, and it's magnified because it comes against an AFC East division rival, clearly, and Buffalo leaves here 4-2. Gentlemen, appreciate the time. Travel well. Look forward to next week. It's Tampa and Baltimore. Should be a great game.
Great one.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it'll be fun. Thanks, Scott.
Ray Davis, what a performance tonight. Obviously, Cook is down. That means you're up. There's a saying in any level of sports, next man up. You were the man tonight to step up. The mentality you brought to this stage tonight, how would you describe it?
It was about just, again, like you said, next man up mentality. For me, it was about just making sure I do what I got to do. We know James is so explosive. He's a great running back. So we knew that we got to still push the needle. We got to make sure that we stay in the right position to succeed. And when you got a cast like that, Josh, the offensive line, everybody doing their job, I don't succeed without them.
I thought it was interesting from the jump. It was like, let's saddle this young man up and ride. And you come out and that first touchdown drive, and Josh said he stole the touchdown from you. He kind of hawked it in the end, right, from the one. But it was clear that they were going to put the ball in your hands. How does that sort of fuel your confidence when they have that much trust in you?
It's about the preparation throughout the week. Again, my coaches, Coach Skip, the guys in the room, just, again, keep my head up, keep my spirits up, telling me to just play my game. Understanding that things may not hit perfectly, but, again, as time goes on, those 2 to 3, 4, 5 yard runs are going to turn into big chunks and explosive plays. So it's about understanding that I don't got to get the home run right away.
Right.
But just playing your game and understanding it's going to be a slow grind, and they're not going to want to tackle.
At the end of the night, to get the win, that's the most important. But for you personally to contribute as you did, over 150 total yards, how do you describe the satisfaction of being able to deliver the way you did under the brightest lights here just outside New York City?
It's a great opportunity. You never want to get the opportunity when a guy goes down, right? But at the end of the day, you got to be able to step up. And, I don't want to be complacent and accept what happened today. I want to keep getting better. I want to keep understanding the things I need to get better at, I can fix. And then next week or whenever my opportunity comes again, go out there and just present it the same way I presented today.
You're new to this whole scene, but as best as you can, describe for me what Bills Mafia support is like. To come down here, you're far from Western New York, but you feel right at home, don't you?
We got the best fans in the world. I mean, again, they travel, they show up. No matter where it is, they understand that being a part of the Mafia is something great, it's special, and they want to see something special. We got some special guys.
Well, you're a special guy, too, and as someone who's followed your story throughout your career, anybody that knows even a little bit about your story has to be thrilled for you, man. Keep working hard, keep doing your thing. I'm thrilled for you that you got this opportunity tonight and did with it what you did. Congratulations.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. When we walk out here, just full disclosure, we don't know what we're going to get. We could be talking about a Jets comeback victory, right? Look at what happened at the end of the first half. As it turns out, the Buffalo defense made a number of plays there. You got the tablet ready to show us some plays.
Yeah, and so Buffalo, remember, there was the Taylor Rapp play where he breaks up the pass. But the big play this game is the Tyron Johnson interception. And we're going to see where Aaron Rodgers made a mistake when he had an opportunity to hit Mike Williams. So if we pause it right here, you're going to see this is Tyron Johnson. He's going to float to the deep third here, and DeMar Hamlin is going to move to the middle. They're basically just going to get two seam routes. A seam here, up the seam right there, and then we're going to get Mike Williams, who's going to be on the seam on the numbers. Now, as we let it play out, Aaron Rodgers is going to notice that Mike Williams will have room toward the sideline. Now, if you stop it right here, Aaron Rodgers understands that Tyron Johnson now has his eyes on the inside. And so for Mike Williams, what he wants to do is throw him out here and allow Mike Williams to flip his shoulders and get toward the sideline. What happens is once Aaron leaves it short, let it play now. Once Aaron leaves it short, Tyron Johnson's able to speed turn, and after that speed turn, get to the football as Mike Williams slips. And so, like, to me, Scott, that was the big thing there. Aaron Rodgers had a chance to make something happen. It was just an errant throw. Now, I love this play by Joe Brady. On the snap, we're going to get a swing action here, and we're going to go block, block, block. But they're really going to be working on Clemens on the backside because Josh is going to fake the football out. When he fakes it to the swing, he has a one-on-one opportunity to beat Clemens to the outside.
And they've got to be thinking he's going to run.
Well, you have to be thinking he's going to run, but when you see motion and you see all of these things flashing in front of your face, you start to make the move. But if you watch Clemens, he's square. That's where the athleticism of Josh Allen comes into play. He's square, he understands what his responsibility is, but sometimes the other guy's just better than you, and in that case, Josh Allen was.
So, I mean, in this game that featured so much good, a whole lot of penalties. I mean, the number was pretty astonishing, over 200 yards.
Way too many.
Yeah, a number of missed field goals, and as we alluded to on Countdown, given the wind like that, it figured to be difficult. This traditionally has always been a tough place to kick. In the end, it's a stop and then executing better on that last play.
You know, we did a couple different things, but they called a good game. We just didn't execute very well.
I know they weren't all your side of the ball, obviously, but can you just talk a little bit about the penalties tonight?
Yeah, it seemed a little ridiculous. Some of them seemed really bad, including the roughing the passer on me. That's not roughing the passer. Might as well play sarcastic ball if we're going to call those things. And I thought the one on Kinlaw was not roughing the passer either. So.
Look at it, 1 for 4 in the red zone. You lose a game by 3 points. What was breaking down the red zone for you guys?
Nothing. We had chances. We had a walk-in touchdown with Braylon. And we had a phantom holding call. Had a chance with G twice. So we had our chances.
Aaron, I think this is 3 games in a row you guys have had the ball late in the game with a chance to take the lead and didn't do it. I mean, how frustrating is it that you haven't been able to?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm here to win those games. But we got to be on our details. You know, it's little things every single time.
The Hail Mary, what do you see in there?
Well, they decided to rush 2 guys, so we had all day to do it. I actually threw it a little bit right of where I wanted it. I was trying to throw it between the hashes. The wind was, a little swirly tonight, but there was a lot of jostling, and then saw Allen come down with it. It's a pretty good feeling.
Can you go over that pass to Mike Williams, the last one that was picked off?
Yeah. What about it?
What specifically did you see on the throw? How would you throw up?
It was 2 verticals, Allen's down the seam, Mike's down the red line. So I'm looking at Allen. He puts his hand up, 3 guys go with him. So I'm throwing a no-look to the red line. And when I just peek my eyes back there, he's running an in-breaker. So it's got to be down the red line.
So were you throwing that spot to come back to it?
No, I was throwing it to the red line, but when I got to about here, I realized he was running in-breaker, so I had to kind of adjust it a little bit. But the play is 2 guys vertical, 1 guy down the seam, 1 guy on the red line.
Aaron, it's not really early anymore in the season at 2-4. Is there concern about being able to get this turned around before it's too late?
Well, I think there's concern, but that's important. You know, we need to get going. This was a golden opportunity. Some games you win in the NFL, and some games you give away. This was a giveaway. I mean, we're terrible in the red zone. We missed 2 field goals. Didn't convert on a 2-minute drive. We had plenty of chances. Had the momentum, had good drives, moved the ball up and down the field. So disappointing.
You took a few hits tonight. That looked pretty painful. I know you feel like we're asking this every week, but how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel pretty banged up, but strap it up again next week.
And how do you think the team handled this week, just kind of all the adversity, and how do you feel like you guys came out tonight?
Yeah, it was a weird week for sure. First of all, without any changes, we were coming back from London, so that puts a strain on your body. Then we come in and, it's coaching change. I thought everybody handled really well, especially Brick. I thought he did a great job getting the guys focused and making enough little tweaks to kind of stimulate the guys to get locked in. But, I was feeling good all week. I thought we were going to have a big night on offense. And, again, this should have been a 30-plus point game on offense, and this shouldn't even be a conversation.
You did get Brees going.
Rodgers, I thought, was really, really honest there about a lot of stuff, including the fact, and good for him for saying that the roughing was not a roughing on him, because it's just, what are we doing?
Because it wasn't.
But that when he says that's a red line for Williams, what's he saying?
So a red line is the line that we have in practice on the football field. So defensively, when you're a free safety, they'll say cover red line to red line. Anything outside of that is where the cornerback should be able to make a play. And so what he's expecting is Alan Lazard will be running in the middle of the numbers in the hash, and then he expects Mike Williams to be a little bit outside of the hash, running vertical. And so he felt that was where he needed to throw the ball. But that's going to fade Mike Williams out a little bit in between the numbers and the sideline. But he said he thought that he saw him running an in, and if he was running an in, he knew he couldn't put that ball that far toward the sideline.
I mean, the disappointment's understandable. As he said, golden opportunity that they missed field goals, not good enough in the red zone, a ton of penalties. And at the end, now Rodgers, for the first time in his career, has been on the wrong end of it in 4 of his first 6 games. Yeah. And on the other side, you got a Buffalo team. Look, they've won on the road against both Miami and the Jets, and they're 4-2, and they're the best team in the division.
It's a weird thing, right? You're coming off of 2 weeks where there could have been a little bit of panic in Buffalo. Josh Allen hadn't played well. They hadn't won 2 games, but you find a way to win on a night that's imperfect. And sometimes that's what you have to do to have a streak. That's what you have to do to put yourself in position to be a playoff team. And it came down to making critical football plays in situational football moments. The Taylor Rapp breakup, the Tyron Johnson interception, and then the Josh Allen fake swing pass run for a first down. Those were all plays that were consequential to getting the win.
I smile when you said it because it feels like in this league, man, the difference between the good and the great teams are the great teams figure out when you're great, you're going to win.
Yes.
But can you win when you're imperfect? They did tonight.